Jerry Jones has a secret plan to steal Shedeur Sanders away from the rest of the league, and it could flip the entire NFL on its head. Let's get into the mess. Now, before you write this off as just another Cowboys rumor, pause. Because this isn't just about talent scouting. It's not even about drafting a promising quarterback. This is about legacy building. This is Jerry Jones, 81 years old, still holding the NFL in a chokehold, trying to script his final act as the godfather of America's team.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
And in Jerry's mind, Shedeur Sanders is the chosen one. According to insiders, Jones has been eyeing Shedeur like a villain in a prestige drama. Watching, waiting, planning. The whispers? They say he's already making quiet moves. Meetings no one's supposed to know about. Whisper campaigns. Off-the-record conversations with people very close to Deion Sanders. You know, the Hall of Famer, Coach Prime himself, and Shedeur's actual father. Yeah, this isn't just a scouting report. This is a billionaire chess match with bloodlines, brand empires, and billion-dollar franchises hanging in the balance. Because let's face it, Shedeur isn't just a quarterback anymore. He's a name. He's a story. He's got the prime-time sparkle, a massive social media following, college highlight reels that break the internet, and charisma that makes even non-football fans pay attention. And Jerry lives for that kind of player. Someone who sells tickets, sells jerseys, makes headlines, and makes the Cowboys feel like the center of the football universe again. And guess what? That's exactly what Jerry wants to be remembered for. But here's where it gets even messier. Enter the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Browns are, well, the Browns, perpetually spiraling between quarterback experiments, front office drama, and existential crisis. So when Shedeur's name started floating around NFL circles, guess who else perked up? Cleveland. But unlike Jerry, the Browns are trying to play it cool, cautious, methodical. They've got internal debates happening behind closed doors. Should they keep grooming their current guy? Or should they bet it all on the brand power of Shedeur? On one side, the football purists let the kid develop somewhere stable, build a proper team. On the other, the marketing execs foaming at the mouth over a Deion Shedeur NFL crossover event. It's giving corporate tug-of-war, and it's painfully obvious. Meanwhile, Jerry's not waiting around for polite negotiations. Oh no, Jones has allegedly been laying the groundwork for months. Strategic leaks, friendly media plants, high-level intermediaries poking around Shedeur's camp. It's the NFL equivalent of back-channel diplomacy, all designed to make one thing happen: get Shedeur in a Cowboys jersey without tipping off the league. Because, let's not forget, the NFL hates this. The league has rules, tampering policies, procedures. They expect a certain level of decorum, even among their eccentric billionaire club. But Jerry plays by his own rules. Always has. Always will. This is the man who once held an impromptu press conference on a party bus. You think he's going to stop scheming now? No. He's all in. And the craziest part? It might actually work. Behind the scenes, this isn't just about football. It's about power. It's about entertainment. It's about Jerry's legacy as the man who turned the Cowboys from a football team into a global entertainment empire. To him, Shedeur isn't just a quarterback. He's the next pillar in the empire. A new Tony Romo meets Gen Z icon meets Hollywood crossover star. If anyone can turn a college QB into the face of a billion-dollar franchise, it's Jones. And honestly, that's what scares the NFL. Because if Jerry can pull this off, what's to stop other owners from doing the same? Skipping the draft order, bending the rules, making backdoor deals like it's an episode of Billions? The league's worst nightmare isn't just that Jerry will land Shedeur. It's that he'll succeed in changing how teams are built altogether. That the Cowboys will become the template for a new kind of NFL dynasty, one driven by brand first, football second. And it's not like the league hasn't seen him do this before. Remember when Jerry turned the Cowboys Stadium into an events empire? When he turned the team into a reality show, complete with star-studded partnerships, headline-grabbing drama, and more sponsorships than a Formula One car. This is the same man who treats football like theater, who sees the draft as casting and the season as a ratings battle. So, yeah, this isn't just about winning games. This is about writing a legacy in neon lights and fireworks. And Shedeur? Poor Shedeur is caught in the middle of it all. Here's a kid who just wants to play ball, who wants to win games, develop his skills, maybe follow in his dad's footsteps, but without the chaos. Instead, he's being treated like a golden ticket, a walking, talking media goldmine. And every move he makes, every Instagram post, every sideline shot, is being dissected by execs trying to figure out how to get him, where he might go, and who will win the sweepstakes. And that brings us back to Kevin Stefanski, because when he caught wind of Jerry's plan, allegedly, he was not okay. The Browns have enough problems without the most powerful man in the NFL making midnight moves to steal their best shot at relevance. Imagine spending months mapping out your quarterback strategy only to find out Jerry Jones might blow it all up with one dinner and a phone call to Coach Prime. It's not just infuriating. It's terrifying, because Jerry's not bluffing. He's got money. He's got influence. He's got the media wrapped around his finger. If he wants Shedeur, he will stop at nothing to make it happen. And no rule book, no commissioner, no angry tweet from a rival GM is going to slow him down. And the wildest part? This might not even be about football. Some insiders believe Jerry's plan is about immortality, that this is his final masterstroke before retirement, or worse, that he wants to leave behind something unforgettable, a move so audacious it cements him in NFL history as the ultimate showman, the puppet master, the man who bent reality to make the Cowboys great again. He doesn't want to win a Super Bowl the normal way. He wants to craft a moment, build a narrative, star in a sports documentary where he's the visionary who saw it all coming. And Shedeur, whether he likes it or not, he's the main character in Jerry's final chapter. So where does that leave us? We're watching a billionaire war play out in real time. One side, ambitious, unfiltered, chaotic brilliance. The other, cautious, conflicted, and woefully outgunned. And in the center, a young quarterback who didn't ask to be a pawn in someone else's legacy. Will Shedeur land in Dallas? Will the NFL step in? Will the Browns fight back? Or will we wake up one morning, open Instagram, and see Jerry Jones grinning next to Shedeur in a crisp white Cowboys jersey? Hashtag free but meme ready? Because at this point, nothing would surprise us. And honestly, that's the real game Jerry Jones is playing. Not football. Spectacle. If you're still here, you survived another chapter in the NFL's most unhinged soap opera. What do you think? Is Jerry a genius? A madman? Both? Drop your take in the comments, because this is the kind of drama that needs a group chat breakdown. And if you want more wild stories like this, where billionaires lose their minds, franchises gamble on vibes, and football turns into a Hollywood script, make sure you hit subscribe. This is only the beginning. The NFL offseason is chaos. And Jerry Jones, he's the main character. We know Jerry Jones doesn't do anything halfway. This isn't some random rumor floating out of Cowboys camp. No, when Jerry sets his sights on someone, especially a quarterback, he doesn't just scout. He courts. He romances the idea like he's directing a full-blown love story, with himself as a misunderstood genius and Shedeur Sanders as the elusive muse that completes his football opus. And when Jerry falls in love with a quarterback, God help us all. Remember Johnny Manziel? The almost draft pick? Jerry practically had the card in his hand. He wanted the chaos, the brand power, the spotlight. But back then, his front office actually managed to talk him down. This time, different story. Because with Shedeur, the stakes aren't just high, they're personal. It's not just about Shedeur being a good fit. It's about who he is. The son of Dion, primetime royalty, raised in the spotlight, coached in swagger, born into the type of football mythology Jerry wishes he could mass produce. The Sanders family is already a brand. Shedeur's already media trained, polished, and followed by millions, and he hasn't even played an NFL snap yet. That kind of star power, you can't teach it. You buy it. And Jerry? Jerry's been waiting for a quarterback he could sell like that. A quarterback who doesn't just lead the team, but defines it. Dak Prescott? Good guy. Solid player. But never quite hit the superstar ceiling Jerry wanted. Romo? Had the flair, sure, but never delivered the rings. And now, with time running out on his ownership chapter, Jerry wants to swing big, legacy big. But here's the chess move you didn't see coming. Sources, very chatty ones, say Jerry's not just planning to draft Shedeur. Oh no, the man wants to orchestrate his entry into the league, like it's a red carpet premiere. He's allegedly been maneuvering to get Shedeur placed in the right media circles, promoting his image, lining up sponsorships, even floating little whispers that Dallas is where stars go to shine. This isn't tampering in the traditional sense. This is the NFL version of Inception, planting the idea so deep in everyone's mind, fans, media, Shedeur himself, that when draft day comes, the Cowboys just feel inevitable. It's sinisterly genius. And look, don't get it twisted, Shedeur isn't some naive rookie being played like a fiddle. The guy's smart. He's grown up in the game. He knows when he's being watched, manipulated, hyped. But he also knows what a move to Dallas means. Instant fame, legacy pressure, a media circus every week. His father's old stomping ground. The expectations would be crushing, but also it would be epic. Which brings us to the part that really has Kevin Stefanski losing sleep. The Browns, bless their hearts, have spent years trying to stabilize their quarterback room. It's been a carousel of hope and heartbreak. And just when they think they've finally found something to build on, this happens. Suddenly, Jerry Jones is hovering like a cartoon villain, ready to drop a trapdoor under their entire rebuild. And you can feel the panic setting in. Because if there's one thing Cleveland cannot survive, it's another quarterback drama. They're still nursing PR bruises from past disasters, and now there's a whole new debate raging in-house. Should they try to fight for Shedeur? Should they trade up? Trade out? Leak something? Say nothing? It's chaos in the most Browns way possible. And Jerry? He's watching from his luxury box with a glass of wine and a smirk, because this is exactly the reaction he wants. Distraction, confusion, power imbalance. See, Jerry doesn't need to outbid teams. He just needs to outhype them. He makes it so every other team second-guesses themselves. Suddenly, GMs start wondering if Shedeur will be too much of a brand, if he's too big for a small market team, if the Dion connection is going to pull him toward a bigger spotlight. And that hesitation, that's all Jerry needs. The Cowboys don't have to be in the perfect draft position. Jerry will make the league believe it's already a done deal. It's psychological warfare dressed in a cowboy hat. And let's not forget, this is happening while Deion Sanders is everywhere. Interviews, documentaries, headlines. Coach Prime is more visible than ever, and his son, right there with him. The Sanders machine is rolling strong, and Jerry sees it as the perfect storm. He doesn't want just another quarterback. He wants a dynasty in a box. And you better believe this isn't just about football. There's a reason Jerry's turning this into a long con. He sees Shedeur as more than a passer. He sees him as the future of the franchise brand. Jersey sales. Docuseries. Dallas' next cultural icon. You think Jones would pass on the chance to make Hard Knocks? Primetime Redux starring Shedeur in Dallas? Please. He's practically storyboarding it right now. And if you're wondering why the NFL isn't stepping in, oh, they're watching. But the league's hands are tied unless someone can prove Jerry's breaking concrete rules. And he's too smart for that. This isn't a paper trail. It's vibes. Influence. Rumors just slippery enough to skate past official investigations, but loud enough to reshape the entire narrative around the draft. Because even if Jerry doesn't land Shedeur, he's already won. He's disrupted the system. Sown doubt. Made teams nervous. He's turned Shedeur Sanders into a quarterback everyone's talking about, and by association, made the Cowboys the franchise everyone's watching. It's peak Jerry. And here's the Shakespearean twist. This might be his last big move. Jerry Jones isn't going to be around forever. Harsh truth. He's been running the Cowboys since 1989. He's seen dynasties rise and fall. He's made enemies, forged alliances, and occasionally lost his mind on live TV. But now, he's staring down the legacy clock. And Jerry hates unfinished stories. Bringing Shedeur to Dallas wouldn't just be a power play. It would be the final act of a man determined to write history with a Sharpie. A way to leave the NFL with one last shockwave. A final twist in the tale that ends with him riding off into the Texas sunset, not just as an owner, but as the owner, the one who changed the game. And if he doesn't get Shedeur, he'll find another prodigy, another spectacle. Because Jerry's addiction isn't just a winning, it's a theatrics. He wants the NFL to feel like a movie, and he wants the Cowboys to be the lead role every single season. But this time feels different. This time, it feels like he's betting everything on one name. So buckle up, because draft season just got a whole lot messier. The whispers are turning into roars. The front offices are panicking. And somewhere in Colorado, Shedeur Sanders is probably checking his phone, wondering why the league is acting like he's the second coming. Spoiler alert, they think he is. And Jerry Jones is just crazy enough to make it true. This isn't just a draft rumor anymore. This feels like the NFL version of a royal coup. Jerry Jones isn't interested in playing fair. He's not waiting around for picks to fall into place. He's writing his own script, starring himself as a renegade kingpin, and Shedeur Sanders as a crown jewel that proves he was right all along. And now that the smoke is turning into fire, people across the league are starting to panic. The media, eating it up. Sports radio hosts are foaming at the mouth, debating whether Jerry's plan is sheer madness or misunderstood brilliance. Cowboys fans are already photoshopping Shedeur in navy and silver, while rival teams are prepping anonymous sources to float that maybe Shedeur isn't as ready for the league as everyone thinks. It's the NFL's favorite pastime, sabotage disguised as analysis. But the truth is, all this noise is part of plan. Jerry wants his frenzy. He thrives in chaos. It gives him the upper hand, because while everyone else is flailing around trying to guess his next move, he's 5 steps ahead, sipping whiskey in a suite somewhere, grinning like the devil just whispered him a stock tip. And you can almost feel the weight of it all building behind closed doors. Across the league, front offices are tightening up, agents are getting very quiet, and the Browns, oh, the Browns. Kevin Stefanski is in full damage control mode. He's not just coaching anymore, he's managing egos, calming executives, and trying to stop ownership from having an identity crisis. Because here's what no one wants to admit. The Browns want Shedeur too. They just don't know how to want him. Do they sell out and go all in, try to outbid the Cowboys in a battle of resources they can't win? Or do they play it safe, hope Jerry's plan collapses under its own spectacle, and settle for a quieter prospect? Neither option feels great. But that's what Jerry's genius lies in. He forces the league to respond to him. You can't ignore him, because even if you do, he'll still be the one writing the headlines. And now, Shedeur's caught in the eye of the storm. Let's talk about him for a second. Because while Jerry is scheming and execs are scrambling, Shedeur Sanders is just trying to be a quarterback. A good one. He's out here studying film, showing up to practice, trying to keep the noise out. But when your dad is Coach Prime and your name is lighting up draft boards and brand decks in equal measure, staying focused isn't just hard, it's borderline impossible. Can you imagine the pressure? Every move he makes is tracked. Every game, every interview, every social media post gets dissected for clues. Is he leaning toward Dallas? Is he dodging Cleveland? Did he smile a little too hard when someone asked about the Cowboys? He's 21. He should be worried about coverage schemes and timing routes. Instead, he's got billionaire owners trying to plot his destiny like he's a final piece of a Marvel Phase 4 crossover. And in a weird way, that's what makes Jerry's whole plan so darkly brilliant. Because Shedeur isn't just a quarterback anymore. He's a narrative, a myth in the making. And Jerry's figured out that in the modern NFL, that's more valuable than almost anything else. The league wants to pretend it's still about X's and O's. But Jerry knows better. The NFL is a soap opera disguised as a sport. And he's a guy who's been writing episodes since the 90s. Think about it. How many other owners do you know by name? How many have turned their team into a personality? The Cowboys have been mediocre for years, and yet there's still talk about more than the Bills, the Jaguars, the actual playoff teams. Why? Because Jerry figured out the game behind the game. And now with Shedeur, he's trying to pull off his biggest trick yet. Bring in the prodigy, light up the media, create the buzz, sell the dream, and then profit in every way imaginable. Television ratings, national brand deals, international fans, legacy cemented. This isn't just about football. This is Jerry's final masterstroke. The closing chapter in a decades-long story of ego, empire, and extravagant belief in himself. And the irony? For all his scheming, all his power plays, this whole plan still hinges on one thing. Whether Shedeur wants to go along with it. Because yeah, Jerry can do a lot. But he can't draft a guy who refuses to play for him. Not legally. Not ethically. Not without turning the whole league upside down. And that's the wild card in all of this. What does Shedeur want? Does he want to follow his dad's footsteps into the spotlight, into the drama, into the gold-plated circus tent that is the Dallas Cowboys? Or does he want peace? Simplicity? A franchise that sees him as a quarterback, not a product? That's the thing no one's sure of. And Shedeur? He's staying quiet. Smart move. Every time he ducks a question or gives a vague, I just want to play football answer, the speculation triples. But here's the catch. Silence is a signal. And Jerry is listening very, very closely. Because if he gets even the slightest sign that Shedeur is open to Dallas, that's it. Game over. The plan goes from audacious to inevitable. Draft picks will be traded. Favors will be called in. And the Cowboys' war room will turn into a full-blown media command center. It'll be like the NFL version of a political campaign. And Jerry? He's the ultimate campaign manager. So yeah, the stakes are real. This isn't just a wild rumor anymore. It's a test of everything the NFL pretends to be versus what it actually is. A battle between structure and spectacle. Between tradition and transformation. And at the center of it, a 21-year-old quarterback who just wants to throw the damn ball. Welcome to the future of the league. It's messy. It's dramatic. It's very on-brand. And it's happening whether the NFL likes it or not. So what's next? Do the Browns implode, trying to block the move? Does the league step in and investigate Jerry? Do other owners join the chaos and start making their own wild grabs for star power? Or does Shedeur pull the ultimate twist and say, nah, I'm good. I'll go be the face of a different franchise. Whatever happens, one thing is clear. This isn't just a draft season. It's a spectacle. A full-blown drama, and we are here for it. So tell me, who do you think wins this billionaire chess game? Drop your takes in the comments, because you know we're all refreshing for updates. And don't forget to subscribe if you love your football served with a side of scandal, spectacle, and absolutely unhinged ambition. Because in the NFL, there are no off-seasons.